states, what we are learning now is that the number of people arrested in this particular case is standing at 57 right now. 57.
Massive crackdown by the Cyberabad police over multi-level marketing scam involving a firm named Qnet. As many as 70 people have been arrested so far from Telangana alone.
Yes, Aditi, I'm here with Krishnamurthy, and both of us are in Hyderabad, and we've been able to talk to some of the investigators who are looking at the Qnet scam, and we also have some details of the progress that was made or the lack thereof in the last couple of years. In fact, the latest bit of information that we can tell you is that this is going national in terms of the sort of interference that will have to be made, especially from the central agencies in probing the extent of this scam, because if you look at the money trail that is involved, it's roughly about 5,000 crore and upwards, and most of the money has been sent out of India.
Hey there, welcome. My name is Alonda Carter and I am the Recovering Hunbot. In my first video about Qnet, I told a story about the two founders, Vijay Eswaran and Joseph Bismark, and in my second video I covered the overall history of Qnet. Today we are going to examine the various controversies associated with Qnet pretty much since its inception back in 1998. If you have not subscribed to my channel yet, please consider doing so, and if you have subscribed, thanks so much. To support my channel, I just ask that you watch this video to the end and give it a thumbs up. If you have time, leave a comment so that more people will have a chance to view it. The images used do not necessarily correspond with the timeline. And also, I ask that you forgive me for not pronouncing some of the names and cities correctly. I apologize in advance. Please try to look past that and focus on the overall story of deception and fraud that is entwined with Qnet. Also, I do have to provide a trigger warning, as there are parts of this story that some people may find very disturbing. And now let's get to the topic at hand. Qnet paints a story of overcoming adversity and great success for both Vijay and Joseph. In their version of the Qnet story, they are the heroes who bring hope to people who are looking for a better life and are willing to put forth effort to get it. The reality is much darker than what they lead people to believe. Hundreds of people, if not thousands, have lost money by aligning themselves with Qnet. Some joined without knowing the name of the company until after paying for the membership. Others were held captive and forced to recruit members. Some were promised high-paying jobs. The real story is that of the many victims who have been financially ruined due to the misfortune of getting involved with Qnet. Back in 1998, when Vijay and Joseph started a company together, they had been part of a multi-level marketing company that seems to have fallen apart, and they both had a lot of people under them. And being the upstanding guys that they are, they had to take care of their people. So they formed GoldQuest, which later became QuestNet, and then Qnet, which all operated under the umbrella of the parent company, the Key Group. Initially, the company GoldQuest sold gold coins. In fact, you may recall from my second video that GoldQuest created commemorative coins for the Sydney Olympic Games and went on to do so for other Olympic Games. So on the surface, that looks pretty good, right? However, the coins it produced came under fire. In 2002, Cameron Thompson, an Australian politician at the time, the Nepalese Home Ministry, the Sri Lankan Central Bank, and the Iranian government all described GoldQuest as a pyramid scheme. Furthermore, the Australian Office of Consumer and Business Affairs listed GoldQuest as one of 61 alleged pyramid schemes, and the binary form of transaction used by Qnet was prohibited under the Sharia law by Egypt Islamic Advisory Board. Today, you can find some of these commemorative coins on eBay for under $10. The year of 2003 brought about more issues for Qnet. That year, the Philippines Department of Trade and Industry issued QuestNet a cease and desist. Additionally, the Royal Monetary Authority of Bhutan conducted an investigation into GoldQuest and found it to be a pyramid scheme. Also, the Nepalese Home Ministry banned Gold Quest from operating in Nepal. The Indian police arrested 2 senior managers of the Key Group after receiving complaints from more than 50 members, and the company's bank account was frozen. In the year 2005, Sri Lanka banned the operation of Gold Quest and claimed the company had cost $15 million to leave the country. That same year, India declared both Gold Quest and Qnet to be Ponzi schemes. The Iranian government also banned Gold Quest in 2005. In 2006, Afghanistan withdrew Qnet's license to conduct business. Then, in the year 2007, the Direct Selling Association of Indonesia called Gold Quest a pyramid scheme. Vijay, Eswaran, and other Gold Quest officials were arrested in Indonesia based off of an Interpol alert from a Philippine investigation. However, unfortunately, they were released and the charges dismissed after 3 weeks, since Qnet contended the allegation was unfounded. The National Bank of Rwanda declared Qnet to be a pyramid scheme in 2008. The company was then banned by Rwanda's Ministry of Finance. Also in 2008, approximately 3,000 people marched on the presidential palace in Kabul to demonstrate against the temporary withdrawal of Qnet's operating license. Qnet had launched in Afghanistan in 2006 with roughly 600 independent representatives, or IRs, and expanded to around 21,000 IRs when the government withdrew the operating license. Qnet was banned by Sudan in 2009. Allegations had been made that the products were of poor quality and some had never received the products that they ordered. That same year, Syria's Ministry of Economics shut down Qnet for violating commercial registration laws and for operating as a pyramid scheme. In 2010, Turkey opened up Qnet operations with 150 IRs. However, the police charged 42 of the IRs with gaining an unfair advantage. Overall, in the world of MLM, early adopters are those that have an advantage over others and are able to build massive downlines. Turkey investigated Qnet, and the trade minister warned citizens against this type of business structure. Since Qnet had arrived in Turkey, it had collected around $20 million from the public. 75 people were taken into custody from the Qnet offices and were accused of contacting unemployed young people. That same year, the Egyptian government's Education Institute issued a fatwa declaring Qnet's business model to be a haram. Additionally, Saudi Arabia's Ministry of Commerce and Industry banned Qnet amid accusations of theft, falsification, and failure to register. In 2011, the Key Group had resumed operations in Turkey. That year, 11 members were taken into custody and questioned, and the Mardin Security Directorate arrested 12 people, including a leader from Iran. It is said around 110,000 pounds of cash was seized. After Qnet operations were suspended, the company continued to operate as Qnet. 53 people that worked for Qnet were detained in various cities, and an investigation against Eswaran was launched. 30,000 members lost money in a $50 million fraud when the Turkey branch collapsed. Also in 2011, Egypt, Saudi Arabia, Indonesia, and India accused Qnet of being a product-based pyramid scheme. In 2012, Egypt's Dar al-Lefta issued a fatwa against Qnet and stated the business was a haram, which is forbidden under Islamic law. Although it had begun its investigation in 2008, it was not until 2013 that India made its first arrest of Qnet members. 6 of Qnet's bank accounts were frozen. India registered a case of money laundering against Qnet, one of its franchises, Vijay Direct Selling, and a few others. Additionally, 200 members of PT Qnet Indonesia alleged fraud against the company. It is estimated that losses were between 7 to 10 million rupees per person. That same year, Kazakhstan banned Qnet. Also, it was reported the Philippines Gold Quest failed to submit annual reports for the following years, 1999 to 2000, 2002 to 2003, 2007 to 2013, and 2009 to 2012. Therefore, its license for operating was revoked. In February of 2014, the managing director for Qnet India was arrested on 21 cases of cheating. Additionally, lookout notices were put out for Eswaran and 2 business associates who were IRs. Qnet was quick to point out that they were not employed by the company, they were just independent representatives. The PR firm that dealt with Qnet had their bank account frozen. An article came out in the country of Tajikistan in June of 2014 that Qnet is a dangerous pyramid. Qnet, though, denied the accusations. A radio announcer stated that Qnet held training sessions for the purpose of attracting investors, was arrested in Mumbai. In September of 2014, Qnet sued a private radio station and a journalist to protect its reputation. However, religious leaders stated Qnet's activities violated Sharia law because of the deception, and members must make a purchase and find new buyers. In October of the same year, the Economic Offences Wing EOW, which is part of the Mumbai Police, filed a first information report against Qnet and its Indian subsidiary, Vijay. Doing so barred Qnet from hosting these training sessions and workshops. A criminal fraud case against Qnet was opened in Baku, Azerbaijan in April of 2014. Allegedly, Qnet employees had taken more than 27,000 Azerbaijan manat from 16 of its residents. On March 15th of 2015, Qnet announced it was liquidating its assets in the Tajikistan office, but continued operating through a local company. In my second video covering the history of Qnet, we saw that the company created commemorative coins for several Olympic years and sponsored a number of athletic groups. In March of 2016, the Mumbai Police issued a top official of the Indian football club, FCGOA, a summons inquiring about Qnet's sponsorship. In June of this same year, Delhi moved against Qnet's subsidiary, Vijay Direct Selling, and 3 IRs for fraudulently operating a multi-level marketing scheme. That September, the Hyderabad police arrested 4 people associated with Qnet, and the Mumbai police recovered money by freezing bank accounts. There was a 3-year probe into Qnet, which produced a 55,000-page document with charges against Vijay directors and shareholders. Furthermore, the Indian Securities and Exchange Board advised the victims to file complaints with the authorities. The Federation of Direct Selling Association rejected Vijay's application, contending it was in the business of recruiting rather than retail selling. One IR in Burkina Faso faced fraud prosecution charges for charging membership fees to Qnet totaling 390,000 West African CFA franc. The authorities labeled Qnet as a network of crooks. Hundreds of complaints were filed. Each IR paid 450,000 West African franc for membership fees. Those who were involved in this project were arrested and detained in the Zenair Prison and Correction Center. In Damascus, young people were recruited by friends to join and pay the membership fee. They were given Qnet products to sell and taught how to recruit others. Those who recruited earned $200 for each pair of recruits. Sri Lanka shut down both GoldQuest and Key. However, these 2 companies were replaced by another shell company called Global Lifestyle Lanka Limited. The managing director, Eswaran's brother-in-law, and several board members were summoned. It was alleged that a former defense official received money so that Eswaran himself was not arrested. There was a massive protest in Jaffna. Thousands of people wanted a refund. A court there issued an interim injunction. A magistrate ordered a public awareness campaign and awareness meetings. In December of 2016, 2 Qnet employees were sentenced up to 8 years in Azerbaijan for defrauding 15 people over $65,000. This case had begun back in 2014. A once closed fraud case was reopened in Moldova in 2016 after people made numerous complaints. Hundreds of people who were eager to make money and become rich went bankrupt after friends or relatives convinced them to join Qnet. They had been promised they would earn thousands of euros per week, but to do so they had to buy $2,000 of products first from Qnet. Additionally, those who joined had to get 2 other people to also join so that they could earn a commission of $250. In 2017, Saudi Arabia banned network marketing after receiving numerous complaints about 2 companies, TVI and Qnet. In Georgia, people took credits from banks so they could buy Qnet products ranging from $500 to $3,000. People claimed they were defrauded from their money. In June of 2017, the Central Investigation Bureau of Nepal arrested 102 Qnet IRs on fraud charges. Some of the IRs had received up to 1 million rupees. In a province of Algeria, the Qnet network was dismantled. 15 women suspected of being associated with Qnet were arrested. 3 IRs were arrested in a different area. Qnet landed on Indonesia's list of bogus companies in 2017. 4 Qnet IRs were arrested for the murder of a go-kart driver. However, Qnet asserted the company was not involved with this crime. In July of 2017, approximately 19 teenagers that had joined Qnet were attempting to sell worthless products were evacuated from a shelter and returned to their homes of their parents. Other cases similar to this happened in other districts. For example, the police raided a home in the trade district and found 20 men and 4 women. 2 of the leaders were questioned by the police. In Jambai City, 48 Qnet members were detained for disturbing their neighbors, and IRs were arrested in a number of the other districts as well. In February of 2017, the Kamata High Court stopped the criminal proceedings against Qnet executive in cybercrime case over alleged fraud. In March of that same year, the Supreme Court of India stayed further proceedings in all of the 19 FIRs filed against Qnet and its stakeholders and granted bail to the former world champion in billiards, Michael Faria, and other officials of Qnet's Indian franchise. 8 IRs were arrested in Iran for alleged counterfeiting and fraud. In Togo, more than 100 young people were taken hostage under the Qnet banner in Côte d'Ivoire. Over in Ghana, 4 Qnet IRs were arrested for allegedly recruiting around 580 young people. Those they recruited were asked to pay 3,100 Ghanan cedi. There were also some Qnet-related schemes that were investigated in Sri Lanka. Qnet was ordered to cease operations there. Qnet Europe was reported on Latvia TV to be a pyramid scheme in 2018. That same year, the Ministry of Economy of Lebanon warned the public about Qnet. A violent protest erupted in Mali against Qnet, and 10 IRs were arrested for alleged fraud. It is said that new members of the organization paid between 4,000 to 6 million CFA. The Malayan spiritual guide proclaimed that none of Qnet's medical products had any curative effect and denied any association with the company. Also, IRs from the Ivory Coast were arrested in 2018. The many complaints about Qnet led Turkey to list Qnet as one of the 19 pyramid companies. Allegedly, the Georgian Qnet office was managed by a parliamentarian member. Furthermore, thousands of people who joined Qnet lost money. The Fatwa Committee of Kyrgyzstan, Iraq, denounced Qnet's business activities and declared it as a haram. During 2018, the Singal Qnet branch recruited 108,000 people and charged them between $500 to $700. The official who originally issued the document recognizing Qnet was arrested. In Ghana, Qnet claimed to have employed 10,000 people and that they earned between $1,000 to $10,000 per month. IRs were arrested in Gambia and Kazakhstan. Qnet was accused of making false promises. By 2019, India Qnet faced legal action and arrest in 8 cities. The Cyberdad police began to investigate the suicide of a former techie who allegedly suffered financial losses after investing in Qnet. This individual, according to his family, was under a lot of pressure to enroll more members. The police contacted several investigating agencies and reported that Qnet was running a Ponzi scheme. Furthermore, they stated the company had thousands of Indians who had invested into Qnet across the country. Another man was tricked into joining Qnet by his cousin, took his own life. There was another incident of suicide by a software engineer in Navi Mumbai after investing in Qnet. 70 people were arrested and 38 cases were registered against Qnet. One former member of Qnet started his own multi-level marketing firm after losing money with Qnet. He was arrested for running a money circulation scheme. 3 people were arrested by the Pioneer police after a complaint was filed from someone that was asked to invest in Qnet. There were separate incidents in Indonesia where the police rescued people who were allegedly held captive that were members of Qnet. 6 people were said to have been promised a salary of 3 million rupees per week. However, they first needed to make a deposit of initial capital totaling 9.5 million rupees to join Qnet. During questioning, they revealed they were taught to recoup the money they needed to recruit at least 2 people in their downline. However, the money paid to join Qnet, they could never withdraw it at a later time. The director of the PT Amoeba International, which is associated with the PT Qnet, was arrested for running a money game system operating as a pyramid scheme. It was discovered that approximately 87% of those who joined lost money. Thousands of people and dozens of Qnet victims protested in the street against Qnet and in support of the police chief. The police chief and his Cobra team investigated the organization for fraud. In Guyana, some 100 people were arrested for their involvement with Qnet. IRs in Sierra Leone were claiming to have been defrauded for joining Qnet. Dozens of IRs in Senegal were arrested along with 2 Qnet executives. Over in Chad, the director of the National Agency of Financial Investigations declared Qnet to be a criminal enterprise and warned the public against being involved with the company. Over the past 4 years, Qnet had extorted 91 million Central African franc from the most vulnerable groups of people. In the country of Togo, at least 100 people fell victim to Qnet. Friends told them that they had found jobs in Ghana with monthly salaries of 300,000 Central African francs. However, the reality was that they needed to pay 500,000 Central African francs for training. Without knowing the name of the company, the victims sold off their belongings or went into debt to become Qnet members. In India, Qnet operates through 2 shell companies, GoldQuest Private Limited and QuestNet Enterprise India Private Limited. Data collected back in investigations that began in 2010 by the Serious Fraud Investigations Office, SFIO, warned that Qnet's business opportunity is operated out of Malaysia. The report included that the company operated as a pyramid scheme and was in violation of the PRIZE Act, where the number of victims increased geometrically over time. In 2019, although there were 200,000 Qnet affiliates in India, only 50,000 received any financial compensation. By January of 2019, the authorities in India had received 172 complaints about Qnet, and this was what prompted the SFIO investigation. At this time, roughly $34.2 million had been pocketed by Qnet scammers. However, an issue that remains problematic is the involvement of local politicians and their families with Qnet. I found more information about a self-harm incident, but it is unclear if it is the same one as previously mentioned. A young man joined Qnet in 2014. He quit his full-time IT job in 2017 and went all in with Qnet at that time. He dutifully purchased products each month to qualify for commissions. However, he never received any. By 2019, he was in debt to the tune of $28,900. The young man had managed to save $7,230 while working full-time in the IT industry before he joined Qnet, and he borrowed the rest from his father. In late July of 2019, his body was found hanging from a ceiling fan. His father claims he was depressed over the losses with Qnet. Qnet denied any responsibility for the man's financial losses. In early August of 2019, 52 expatriates associated with Qnet were deported for not having resident permits in Ghana. The report disclosing this information did not provide the nationality of the deportees. The deportation is thought to have been based on the crackdown on crime in Ghana. In the fall of 2019, Indian authorities shut down a spin-off of Qnet called Serif Marketing Private Limited, which was launched in 2018. Commissions were based on the recruitment of others. After a complaint was filed in Hyderabad against Serif Marketing, Becky Reddy, the creator of Serif Marketing and a former member of Qnet, was found to be violating the Price, Chits, and Money Circulation Schemes Act. In 2020, a group of Qnet members in Ghana posed as national security operatives. The Ghana National Security Council, which is the equivalent of the U.S.'s FBI, was none too pleased. This stunt led to the actual national security operatives arresting Qnet members. The Qnet members posed as the national security operatives so that they could recruit others to join Qnet. Those who were arrested were accused of extorting money from the young graduates and promising them a better life with Qnet. In 2021, in spite of the multiple arrests and deportations, Qnet continued to operate in Ghana. Mostly, Qnet members lured people to Ghana from Mali, Nigeria, and Burkina Faso under the pretense of securing them a good job. However, upon arrival, they are held hostage and forced to work for Qnet. This overall employment scam has been going on for some time. Qnet members use various other devious tactics, such as the promise of diplomas and degrees. Qnet boasted that in 2021, they had around 10,000 members in Ghana. The Chief Director of Ministry of Business Development, Joe Taki, welcomes Qnet to Ghana and believes the business model supports entrepreneurship. Additionally, a representative for the Minister of Trade and Industry stated Qnet's entrance into Ghana opens up space for more entrepreneurial opportunities. If this is the official line, then any real crackdown on Qnet will be very limited. With the lack of any real action to hold Qnet accountable to the financial harm it has caused, I suspect more Ghanaians will continue to lose money by joining Qnet. Death continues to follow the Qnet story. In 2021, another Qnet affiliate took their own life. This time, the victim was a former teacher who took out a loan just to join Qnet. John Atwa Asmoa Duba made less than $84 a month. He complained to his brother about his financial hardship, and according to his brother, before his death, John had started hallucinating. The former teacher hung himself on July 18th of 2021. Just when you think it cannot get any worse, another piece of the dirty puzzle emerges. This time, Qnet is associated with human trafficking in Liberia. Allegedly, Qnet affiliates began recruiting people into the company through human trafficking. For example, a young victim from Sierra Leone was lured on the promise of employment and instead was held against his will until the police arrested the traffickers. The arrests made were part of a wider investigation into Qnet. One Qnet affiliate trafficked 15 children and young adults from nearby countries and stole at least $13,650 from them. For years, Qnet affiliates have been kidnapping and trafficking victims in Ghana. Unfortunately, Qnet scammers seem to be enjoying the protection by Ghana's government. In 2022, so far, there have been 8 who were arrested in Ghana, and they were charged with holding 120 people hostage in a compound house. 5 are believed to be Ghanaian, and the other are 3 Nigerian nationals. At this time, the Ghanaian authorities view Qnet as a possible security threat, and they have petitioned the High Court to dissolve Qnet nationally. At this point, we do not know if Qnet will be allowed to continue to operate there or not. What we do know is that Qnet still enjoys the support of Ghana's Ministry of Business Development at this time. At the time of writing the script, I found a number of victims online who sold all of their possessions to become members of Qnet and lost everything. Some sold things owned by family members. These victims deserve justice, and they deserve to have a bright light shining on the many problems with Qnet. It is evident by the many arrests and the many times this country has been found to be a pyramid scheme that something is not right, and people are being sold an illusion.
There were a lot of complaints in our police stations about the running of Qnet, a multi-level marketing company.
Cases so far, and notices have been sent out to high-profile names like Shah Rukh Khan, Boman Irani, Anil Kapoor, Vivek Oberoi, Pooja Hegde, and Jackie Shroff.
In March 2012, the SFIO, in a secret report under the then UPA government, had said, and I quote, "To avoid detection, the company, that is Qnet, has tried to mislead the investigations by playing with the data. Thus, the companies are not only conducting an illegal business, but are also keeping and submitting falsified documents to the regulatory agencies."
If you have been victimized by Qnet, I urge you to report your experience to the authorities of your country and also to look for others who have had a similar experience. It is not your fault that you believe the lies you were told. Multi-level marketing is based on a lie, in my opinion, and it is dependent upon people believing that they can earn a living if they work hard enough and just get others to do the same. I may be doing a fourth video about Qnet and talk about the V and review the V ambassadors. Let me know if you'd like me to do a video about that in the comments below. Until next time, don't forget, you're beautiful and I love you.